guys, this is Zain with another video about AS Revision Challenge. So today the topic of discussion is client-side and server-side scripting, and this will be our episode 6. Before we start talking scripting, that is basically programming, let's get clear what the web server and the computer on which it is running must do. The web server must be hosted on a host computer. The web server uses the HTTP protocol to receive request messages from client computers, deal with each request, and send a response back to the client. The user will continually listen to request messages and then respond to the client computers with a response message. The host computer must have an operating system which supports the TCP/IP communications protocol. It deals with all the communication between the web server and the client server. So let's talk about requesting data from a database server. Users working with the database sends requests to a server for information, as you can see in this diagram that I'm making right now. For example, a user will create and run a query which is held on the client computer. The query is turned into an SQL request which is sent to the server. The server processes the SQL request received, and the results of the processing are then sent back to the client computer. Note, all processing is done at the server. Note that these are the clients that will be requesting for data, and this will send us an SQL code to the database management system server. This will process that query and will send back the result to the client computer that has initiated the request. So then moving towards requesting web pages from a web server. Web pages are constructed using the HTML. This is not a programming language, but as it says, the HTML tags mark up the text and graphics content to determine how it will appear to the user. For many pages, the content is only HTML tags. So the request sequence is: the client web browser requests the page using the URI. The DNS directs the request to the appropriate domain. The server then retrieves the page. Then the server sends the page content consisting of HTML tags and text contents only to the client. And then the client web browser software renders the page and displays it. However, the content may need to change each time the page is requested. That is, the page has dynamic content. For example, a web page may display today's date or may be used for data entry. The inclusion of dynamic content requires that the web pages contain a script, that is a program code, which determines some or all of the final content displayed on the page. So this is basically the script that we are talking about, is either client-side script or server-side script, and we'll talk about that now. So client and server-side scripting. Using client-side scripting, the dynamic content is processed when the web page is received by the client browser. The popular languages used for client-side scripting is basically JavaScript. The use of client-side scripting assumes that the web browser is configured to support this. The ability to integrate JavaScript code is featured by all popular web browsers. Internet Explorer, Chrome, Opera, Firefox. JavaScript is a third generation programming language. The code is embedded in a web page with all the HTML tags, which determines the page's format and content. All the programming languages must be either compiled or interpreted. JavaScript program code statements are interpreted either when the web page is loaded or later in response to some event taking place. So what I'm writing down here is basically an HTML JavaScript code. So this JavaScript code has no variables, and it has certain uh, statement that is alert. So alert is basically when which causes a dialog box to appear to the user. This code does not contain any structures, ifs or loops, which you will all go through in P2. The JavaScript code illustrates the dynamic nature of a web page. JavaScript code is used for interacting with the user, accepting data input from the user, validating data input, and other actions. For example, if an important field has been left blank, we need to address this before posting the data to the server for processing or storage. And for manipulating images, for example, changing the image displayed when the mouse does a rollover on an image. Even here we see this statement that says that the document background will be red. So this is also done in the JavaScript. Now we move on to server-side scripting. Contrast the following sequence of actions with the sequence given earlier for server client-side scripting. If the web page contains a script which is to be executed on the server, the first step would be the browser requests a web page. The browser is aware it contains code. The server processes the code. The web server renders the page content as HTML tags and text only. The web server delivers the page to the browser as HTML tags and text only, and then the browser client displays the page. The code that I'm have written down is PHP server-side code and outputs on a browser. It is not really useful as the data values are hard-coded within the PHP code. So when we go about this code, this is the starting tag for PHP and this is the ending tag for PHP. This is a variable that is assigned a string value that will be assigned a string value. The $sign is basically for each and every variable that you use within the PHP. So this shows that every $sign will have an identifier after that. Then we have echo keyword, which outputs this given string or the given statement after this keyword on the screen. So this will print the name of the student, which is Ahmed, which we assigned before, and the string hello. So this is the end of our chapter 2, communication and internet technologies. I hope you got something out of it. I really hope that your revision is going great. So let's move on to chapter 3. But this is all for today. We'll do chapter 3 in the next video tomorrow. So see you guys tomorrow. And if you like the video, please like and share with your friends so they can get help from this video as well. And please do subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when I upload new videos, and I will be uploading more videos for revision as well as past paper revision, solve questions, and I will be uploading PRM as it arrives. Thank you.
Hold up.